this is the trade right here that we're in. Let me outline it. Boom. Right, since this channel isn't about money, I'm not going to be showing any money. I'm going to just show you the trading view side of it. We should not be on the 1 minute though. Took the trade off the 2 minutes, so entry would be about right there, and stop loss is down here. All right, cool. We should take profit. We just be going for 1 to 2, slight 1 to 2, but let me show y'all something that's tough though. Look, see this, we have this all the way up here from around 7 o'clock, so I feel like that's a good target. That is a good target, even though my entry isn't all the way up there. I don't need to get all the way up there. I just definitely think that price is gonna go higher. Right, let's look. Overall, we're on an uptrend, and I'll show y'all everything that I have marked up. Right, so what we have marked up, I don't usually mark it up like that, but I was just curious just to see what it would look like. ICT was talking about marking up the premiums, right? So this is the Wix premium. So if you look at it, you can see it like, let me take it off so you can see on the dailies. Boom, right there to right there. So you grade the wick, and then you could look at the retracements into the wick. I like paying attention to consequent encouragement. It's like 50% of the wick. So you can see that price definitely reacted to that, right? You see exactly where the middle part is. That line right there is consequent encouragement, and then it started going back down. So that's super interesting to look at. But what we did is we saw that price came all the way down. Do y'all wanna let's take a look at the market opening real quick, because I don't know if y'all know, but he had spoke about it. So let's take a look at it real quick. I feel like it's important. So 414, right? 414 close. We gotta look at it on the 1 minute. 414's close, right? Boom, see that? That's 414's close to the open at 9:30 is the opening gap, right? See that opening at 9:30? Boom, that's right where that is. So before I take a trade going higher or lower, I want to make sure that price traded down to at least consequent encouragement of that, which basically again is 50%, right? So if y'all want to see 50% of that, it'll be this, right? Like boom, 50% would be right there. Okay, so we see that price did trade down, and this is the bottom part of it. That's art, bro. That's art. You see that right there? See that line? I didn't draw that line because it is. I literally like, that's the line from 414 to close. That's so tough, right? So what I did was I went on the 1 minute. After I seen that price traded down, I went on the 1 minute. This is a fair value gap. I wanted to see how price reacted to it. So now what price did was price shot through this. Once I saw that price shot through it, I'm like, okay, that's nice. I like how price reacted to it. So I got on the 2 minute, right? I just like taking my fair value gaps off the 2 minute. And look at where price went down to, tapped, and then went up. Bro, that's art. That's art, bro. So yeah, price tapped it, went up, and I want to see if we can get it all the way up there. If we don't, then if price fails and we lose this trade, then I gotta keep studying, keep learning. It's definitely things that I'm still missing. I know it's only been 2 years, and 2 years feels like a long time to me, but honestly, like 2 years is nothing when you really look at it. It's like people that's been doing this for 20, 30 years. So we got a long way to go, but it's nice that I can see stuff like this and call it out. And I give glory to God for everything. He's the one that points me in the right direction. He's the one that led me to ICT, whether you want to believe that or not. So what we gonna do is I'm gonna just let y'all rock out. I show y'all why I took the trade, right? I'm in that trade on multiple accounts, but we're not talking about money here. We just strictly analyzing, and the trend line I drew is just for retail. I'm going against retail, so I just thought I'd just draw a quick trend line real quick, because It kind of helps me to see liquidity a little bit. I already see liquidity, but I just thought it would be interesting to draw it just to see how price reacts. I'll take it off because there's really no point of it. It just helps me see liquidity a little bit. So yeah, let's just leave it and we'll see if price ends up going to take profit or stop loss. The trade ended up failing, right? We got very close to take profit. Let's see how close it was. Yeah, 1.83. It was close to a 1 or 2, but price just started rejecting back down. Yeah, I was just wrong about the bias, right? I don't really do a lot of analysis because the overall trend is higher, right? The overall trend is higher, so I really don't want to be selling right now. So like, that's a loss that I'm gonna just have to. You mean I'm gonna just have to take that on the chin. But in terms of the fact that we're not trying to analyze the overall bias, I think this was still an excellent trade. It's just that um if you're gonna sit there and not analyze the bias, right? Price is not gonna just continually go up the whole time. There's gonna be pullbacks, so it's gonna be something that I'm gonna have to live with, and that's fine for me. That's fine. I know how to look at overall where price is going. Like if I wanted to sell, I know what to look at in order to sell, right? Not being cocky or anything. It's just that I, I'll show you how I do it, right? You see, I do it just like this. Boom. And then there's other things that can help nudge you in the right direction, but I just go from swing low to swing high, right? And this is on the 4 hour. And once we go from swing low to swing high, we see how price reacts around the equilibrium. We see that price went through this equilibrium, right? Even we could look on the 1 hour. We see price went through the equilibrium and it's still rejecting down. So overall, right now, what the best trade would be is to get down into a shorter time frame and try to grab a sell. But since we are in a market that's making all-time highs, I'm still being pretty careful. I don't really want to sell. But yeah, it wasn't. This loss wasn't nothing crazy at all. It was a super calm loss. My fault for having a mic. So it was a calm loss. I wish price would have went up a little bit and let me get that win, but it is what it is. We gonna journal and then we get back into it tomorrow. This Thursday, and we have tomorrow's the last day of the week to trade. Let's check Forex Factory, see what's going on tomorrow. Okay, nothing. We good. All right. We're gonna tap back in tomorrow. All right. This is our trade for today. I know I said I wasn't really gonna sell, but I kind of like this sell, right? I kind of like this sell idea, and it is Friday, Price has been ripping off to the high side without really giving me a chance to buy. So like it has been going up there, but I like the sell idea right here. I'll show you exactly why I like it. So if we look on the 4 hour, right, I could remove everything real quick. So we'll just mark up the whole trade right now. So swing high, swing low. Once you go there, this is equilibrium, right? It's the equilibrium, and we could definitely see that price is reacting around there. Price is definitely reacting around there. But with this, price had went up. Since this is over equilibrium, this should act as an order block to send price lower, right? But price went over, so that is slightly a bullish sign, right? But what I like is that we gotta look at why price is going higher, right? And then when you look at it, you can see this. You can see this fair value gap, and then we create that fair value gap. For that fair value gap, price tipped, price touched the equilibrium, right? 50%, and then immediately rejected down. So I saw we was looking at, which fair value gap was we looking at? Yeah, this one right here. I saw this fair value gap. So I want to see, I just marked it up because I want to see how price reacts with it, right? I want to see price come, touch it, and use the consequent encouragement of it to send price lower, right? I like looking at stuff like that. Like that gets super interesting because it just shows how accurate price is. Like look where the bodies are. That's not tough, bro. That's hard. It just shows that this is not gambling. Like there's definitely is a science to it. It's just that we gotta study enough until we figure out exactly what those signs are. We took the gap right here, right? Yeah, we took the gap right. But that's on the 1 minute. That's why I'm so confused. I'm like, why it look like that? So we took it right here. Stop loss is up there, and take profit is down all the way down here. So about right there. That's the trade we're in. And we gonna let price rock out. What I had marked up before was 414 to 930 as kind of like an opening sign. I don't know how accurate it is. I mean, I trust ICT and what he says. So yeah, but I just had a problem with it. Like it kind of looked a little bit off when I compared the forex, like the forex nest opening to the regular nest opening. It didn't really look accurate, but we'll see how price react to it today to see if there's, or maybe I'm just doing it wrong, but we definitely could just test it to figure it out, right? So 414's close would be right there, and then 930's opening would be, let's clone this and put it over here. I done messed it up, bro. I can't figure out which one's which. This one. Let's take it to 930. Where's 930? It is right there. So 930's opening would be down here. Boom. So let's just see how price reacts to that right there. If price can get down there. Alright. No. But look at that though, right? Like that's not super interesting, bro. Look how price is playing with this consequent encouragement right here. That's tough, bro. Look at that. I'll show you with those candles too. Alright, we're gonna let price rock out, and I'll come back to y'all when the trade is over with. Like, look at the close, bro. How can you say there's not an algorithm? Look at the close, bro. That's tough. That's, you see where price closed, and then when you look at this right here, and then you see where price rejected. Like, gang, that's just us grading the 4 hour. That's just us grading the 4 hour wick, right? The 4 hour fair value gap. I meant, my fault. When you grade that 4 hour fair value gap, and then you come down, and you see that price went right there, and then rejected back down, bro. That's art, bro. That's so hard. It's so hard, bro. So, all right, we're gonna wait and win or loss. We still got a lot more studying to do, bro. But yeah, I'll come back whenever the trade play out. So this trade was a loss. We see that price used the consequent encouragement, but it used it as support to go higher. What I wanted to see was price come through it and then use it as like support to go lower. But that didn't happen. It just seems like I'm offside right now. Like right yesterday we had bought, but price had came close to take profit and it ended up losing. With this right here, since we traded into the 4 hour fair value gap and how we rejected strongly off of it, I was pretty confident that we could go down and probably draw down into this right here and then continue lower, but that didn't happen. We just gotta keep studying and figuring out figure out what we did wrong. Today, what I think I did wrong was, I don't know, I'd have to look at the market later and see exactly where it goes. To know what I did wrong. Or maybe I should have waited until price did trade. Wait, no. It looks different on the 1 minute. Yeah, it was right here on the 1 minute. Maybe I should have waited until price traded through this and then treat it as a as support to go lower, well, resistance to go lower before I took the trade. But yeah, this was definitely an L. This was an L. We ended up, we're not gonna make this about, we're not gonna include the money, but we got next week. This was the last trading day of the week, so we're gonna tie back in next week.